Sam, you guys get the win in Game 1. How important was it for you guys to get the victory, especially after going to overtime?
Yeah, it was obviously huge. We talked a lot about Game 1 of the tournament, kind of carrying momentum through. Obviously, with the quick turnaround into Montral, we understood that today was a big one, and to get that win was really nice.
When you consider going to overtime, how nice is it with a 6 o'clock puck drop that you're not so much later into the night now?
Yeah, it definitely is big. Coming in after the game, I remember looking up at the clock and seeing that it was, I think it was like 9:30 or something instead of, nearly 11. So a little bit nicer that way. Obviously, we get in a little bit earlier, and we're not up as late, focusing on tomorrow. So it's nice.
What can you say about Sam's game? Scores the opener, scores the OT winner.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of become what he's been for us. He's just a big clutch time player. I think when you look throughout the season, I think most of his goals come at times that are huge for our entire team. Opening goals to set the tone for the game, or a goal like that to finish it, just speaks to the player that he is.
What can you say about that Moncton team? You played OHL teams all year. Where do they rank, in terms of competition?
Yeah, I mean, they won the Q for a reason. They're obviously a really good team, really well coached. Some high end players that can make some pretty nice plays. So it's always fun going up against a team that you've never seen before. I think that's what makes the appeal of this tournament so intense. So it's exciting, and yeah, obviously, definitely one of the best teams probably ever faced.
How do you refresh and reset for a Rimouski tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's big. Just kind of just move on. Obviously, game's over. Not really much to look back on. Obviously, with how quick this tournament is, look forward to tomorrow. Obviously, do some video on today and look at what Rimouski's got for us tomorrow, and then from there it's tomorrow night, and then after that, Tuesday night, or I think that's when the game is.
What evaluation are you doing of your play right now, of the way you're playing right now?
Yeah, I think at this point in the season, when it gets to now, it's just however I can help my team win. That's the big thing. I think once the big time games come around, that's really all it's about. I think you've probably heard a lot of guys talking about the sacrifice guys are making to win games. Obviously, we're a tight knit group who just doesn't really care who gets the goals or anything like that. We just care that the London Knights get them. That's big for us. So it's just kind of being tight, focusing on our team, and individual stuff will come if the team success is there first.
Do you feel like you thrive in the role where you're having big minutes and where you're being the number one defenseman of the team?
Yeah, I think again, if that's the role that I need to be put in, and I need to play big minutes or whatever it is, I'm happy to do that. But at the same time, if we start to my game starts to fall a little bit and another guy steps up, that's just as good. I'm worried about winning hockey games. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how it gets done as long as it gets done.